it's 9 to 5 and it's 9 to 5.
We want to quit everything toxic.
Don't you want to be a senior sustainability officer? Before we dive in, if you find our conversation interesting, make sure to subscribe and send us your feedback and opinion.
So welcome back, or welcome to the Blueberry Leadership channel. Today we cover Talent's Truth, where we cut through the noise to explore the real factors shaping the Gen Z experience in the workplace. I'm Mark, and I will be leading this discussion with Abrish. Hello, Abrish.
Hi.
Joining us today are Mate, Lisa, and Kata.
Hello.
Hello.
Everyone.
Hey. This is how we roll. Actually, we are here to dig deep into what truly attracts, motivates, and retains talent in today's world. Over the next hour, we will be discussing personal insights, and we will see how the research from industry leaders like Deloitte, Harvard Business Review, or McKinsey holds up in our discussion. So let's get started. And I'm wondering, are there any red flags that you came across or you heard about? Like, okay, if this happens, then it's a no-go that I go there.
I have immediately something on the top of my head, which is work-life balance. For me personally, there have been companies where I was applying for, and in the second or third stage of the interview process, I realized that this was not a 9-to-5 job. If you want to really achieve in this company, and I don't want to name names, but they are big companies, if you want to achieve something, you have to work extra hours. And for me personally, work-life balance is top priority. So this would be a big red flag for me personally.
I totally agree. I mean, my working hours, and after my working hours, I don't want to work. I want to close my laptop and I want to do my other stuff because there are other things in life, beside working. And also, if there would be a toxic working environment, I would probably quit as soon as possible. If the working culture is something I cannot really agree with, I don't mind if I have to look for another job or have to work somewhere else or have to start it again. I don't want to stay. So, yeah.
What's this toxic working culture like for you? What are some signs that...
Also, the extra working hours, when there is this peer pressure, because everyone is doing, should I or should I not? If I don't do, there might be some, punishments or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Also, if it's not a helping environment, because I have this experience at my current team that everyone is helping for each other. Anytime someone has something to help with, there are at least 5 other people who can help you. And I think it would be really, really sad and hard to work if these people wouldn't be there for me or we won't be there for each other. And also, if your boss is not a leader but a boss, I think it's something which is quite a red flag.
We'll come back to leaders a bit later.
I think we have covered the 2 most important red flags for Gen Z: work-life balance and toxic environment or toxic everything. I think this is a very popular word right now. We want to quit everything toxic in our life, toxic relationships, toxic workplace, and etc. I have one other thing, an additional thing in my mind, which is when the job description is not precise enough. So you are hired, but you don't really know what you will be doing. And I think it's probably more typical with trainees, but also with the junior or entry-level jobs, that they want to hire someone. They want to hire someone who is young and who is innovative and ready, but they don't really know. The company doesn't really know what is this role exactly. So for me, it's really important that I know what are my tasks, my responsibilities. So yeah, this is something I would like to add.
One more anecdote that came to my mind, or small story. I was a part of an exchange program during my master's, and I had the opportunity a couple of months ago to represent my Korean company on an exchange networking event with this program. And the thing was that many companies represented themselves, and we sat down, and the students were rotating around, essentially networking, having a meal, and just talking about career jobs. And after the event, a gentleman from Germany came up to me and said that I want to work for you guys. I was like, that's amazing, but why? He said, I don't care about positions, I don't care about pay. What I care about is all of the companies. You two guys were the ones who were the most chill, who were the most fun, and who didn't have these black lines under their eyes. So it was visible that you enjoy your life beside working for your company.
Yeah, so that meant somehow that you were authentic in saying that that's a good place to work for.
Yes, and we weren't so serious apparently, which is also can be a plus. Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing how much your experience holds up with research. Deloitte has this 2024 Gen Z research. They said they interviewed or surveyed like 12,000 people or something like that. And 25% of your age group said that good work-life balance is the number one reason they choose an organization. And so then there are like around 20% that is learning and development, high salary, perhaps, as well, and a positive working culture. So that's top 4. So, yeah. You didn't mention salary, but the other was ticked. So I was like, okay, so it seems that
We are too
research...
polite.
That's
why
I think
there
a
we go.
salary would require another 60 minutes just for that, because it's a completely different topic.
But it matters,
Yeah.
no?
Yeah.
Like having an okay salary.
It really depends on your goals. Personally, I would work for less money. Actually, now I'm working for less money. I'm earning less than in my previous company, but I'm much happier. So then,
Yeah, so it's a balance.
yes.
I think money is only one factor among other factors, and I might say that money might be, or salary might be more important for example, for Gen X or millennials than for Gen Z, because we Gen Z, I think we have a rather complex view when we look at different workplaces, and among work-life balance, I don't know, skill development or other learning opportunities, traveling, language courses, whatever. Salary is just only one factor, and of course it's important. But I think it's only, probably it was the third factor on my list, if I have to prioritize.
Yeah, for me, I wouldn't say it doesn't matter, how much you earn, because you have to pay for everything in this life. So, and also it is better, the salary at a multinational company than, I don't know, in a civil sphere or somewhere else. But yeah, I agree with Kata. It's not the most important thing. And until you can pay everything you want to pay, and it's still like you have the work-life balance and everything, you can be happy and chill and calm and fun and everything we mentioned before, I think it's not on the top of our list, for sure.
So now that we talked about what gets you in the door of a company, but then let's explore also what makes you stay there. What do you love about your current role? What makes you stay there? And are there any compromises?
It would be a ideal situation if there weren't any compromises.
Wow.
And it's also a balance, as we said. Like, are the positives outweighing the negatives? Then it's beneficial to stay. For me personally, in my current company, the 2 biggest reasons I'm staying, one is the people. Where I'm currently working at, it's, I would say, quite a lengthy process to get in, like 5-6 rounds of interviews, but not because you are doing all the case studies and everything. Basically, they are trying to choose the people who fit the culture.
And you are meeting members of the team.
Absolutely. And once you get into the culture, you feel as if you are home, because all the people share the same values. So that's quite important for me. And again, as we mentioned, and also you guys mentioned, learning experiences and opportunities to grow. For me, the biggest downfall of any position would be that if I felt that I no longer can learn more from my current position, then why are you doing it exactly? If your horizons are not expanding and you are not growing with your position, I think then you should switch.
I agree with the people part. Like, as I already said, my team, I really like them as persons, but also like how we work together. I don't know how my manager did it, but we are like 13 people in the same team. We are growing actually, but everyone is standing up for each other. We are there to help. No conflicts at all. Never like, I don't know how she did it, but it's amazing.
No conflict at all.
No, nothing.
It's a
Nothing
bit
I
scary.
learned, I heard about. So maybe there
Mm.
are some things, but I don't know. And also, my manager, she is really there for us. Anytime we are asking for something which is not connected to our actual work or role, but other learning opportunities outside of the company as well, she's there to help us. She's there to figure out how we can manage things, because that's what she told me yesterday actually, that she would be an awful manager if she would not support us in our outsider things as well, because I think she has this mentality that if we are happy in general and we are satisfied with our life, it impacts on our work as well. And yeah, and even not only my team, but the other teams we are working with, we had a nice relationship with them and nice working culture, I would say. So yeah, I think that's one of the biggest reasons why I stayed. And I'm not really thinking about leaving at this moment. And also the fact that I can do other things after work and I'm supported and they're curious about it. It's really nice.
I might sound a bit boring right now, but I also have to say my amazing colleagues who are not only my colleagues but also friends, and also my managers. I have 2 managers, and they give me so much support. But that's it. I'm not talking more about how important that is to work with people you like. I also want to mention the diversity of tasks. So every week I'm dealing something totally new and something which is a challenge. So actually I'm never feeling that this is something that is not a challenge for me. Every week I face something which I say, yes, this is a challenge. Yes, I have to think a lot about it. I have to think about the different ways to solve this task. But in the end, I somehow manage, and it gives me a lot of I don't know, positive, also positive feedback from others, but also self appreciation that yes, now I can be proud of myself because I did it, even though it was hard, but I could manage to finish that task.
Is it always a good thing getting these new challenges? Wouldn't you wanna just, sometimes do something easy? Just 1 week
A
of
routine,
doing a
that would be
routine.
boring.
It would be boring.
I think that would be boring.
You need the new challenges every week.
I need the new challenges. Of course, there are some routine tasks that, for example, I'm doing every month, but the majority of tasks are incredibly diverse. And I also wanted to mention the compromise. Work-life balance is really important to me. I have home office opportunities, but sometimes it happens that I have to work late hours because there is a deadline, crazy deadline with the top priority tasks, and then so yes, for me this was a compromise. But taking all the factors into consideration, I think I will stay.
And what makes an overtime or like working extra hours, extra efforts put in? What makes that tolerable or okay? Because that happens in companies.
I think when there's a limit, so you only have to work 1 extra hour a day, and preferably not every day. I think when it's 2 or 3 hours, then it's a no-go. But I'm really curious about your opinions about extra hours.
Yeah, earlier you did say it's 9 to 5 and it's 9 to 5. So maybe
Yeah.
even 1 more hour is too much, isn't it?
I'm really strict with that.
Me too.
But actually, sorry. Actually, it can happen that there are some days when I finish earlier. So it's not like I have to work from 9 to 5 every single day. And sometimes it can happen that I finish a bit earlier, then I'm finishing a bit earlier. And sometimes it happens that I'm working a bit later, but like 1 hour extra, not more. So it's like
Per
the
month.
balance is there per month, of course.
So you are flexible as well.
Yeah, I am flexible, but because the company is flexible as well. And it's not like they are tracking me all the time, like if I'm still there from 9 to 5, you know? So until my job is done, I would say they are quite flexible as well.
I really agree with that. If you have the freedom of choice, then I don't think an over hour or 2 extra hours is a deathful thing. Essentially, in my opinion, if you are the one choosing to work the extra hours and you don't have to, that's another thing. And again, you can repurpose your hours. Here I take away 2 hours. Here I give again 2 flexibility, as you said. Also, which I think is quite important in this sense, extra hours is that you get some credit if you do it. I know it's a small thing to do, but what I found is with working with multinational companies, there are hundreds, even thousands of people, but we rarely say thanks. We rarely say thanks to the people who are working the extra hours, who are the unseen heroes, who are in the office. I think even just a small thank you note, or in my current company, we are using Workday, which is our like HR base. You can leave these small milestones or stickers to the other person. Thank you for staying the extra hour doing this. It's a small thing, but really makes a difference, I think.
We even have a competition. There is a dedicated email address. You can send your thank you emails where you say that I am thankful for this colleague because he or she was, I don't know, very helpful or very open to a certain task or worked extra hours or whatever. And they are collecting these thank you notes. And every quarter there is a winner. So I think it's a good practice. I love it.
Really good practice. And just one more word about this work-life balance and having your boundaries. I think it's really important to set a boundary, not because you are strict and you don't want to work. You have to have equal sides of your life equally important. Work and life. That's what we call it work-life balance. You don't stop working at 5 because you don't like your job. You're doing that so you can recharge for the next day. If you don't do that, then the balance shifts and you cannot put 100% again next day and again. And I will say this to everyone. Work is not the most important part of life. Anyone who says different, in my opinion, is wrong.
Let's just stop for a moment. If you are finding value in our conversation, make sure to subscribe, comment, and like. Join the Blueberry community.
What is Gen X or Gen Y?
If you obviously, I know a lot of people in my generation who fulfill during your job, or if we are talking about multinational companies, you can really be yourself in a job, but jobs go left and right, jobs end, jobs get I don't know, demoted, which means that one day you might have a job, next day you don't have a job. What happens if you don't have the job you put your whole life to? Then what are you if you've only identified yourself as that position?
You did mention many things that you love, but what about the compromises? What
I
for
mentioned
example,
one compromise.
you did mention one, and many of my friends said who started working in a multinational company that once you get there and you are the new one and you are the young one, you get all the tasks that no one else wants to do. like the mundane task, the copying from one Excel to the other one by one, the data point. What else happens in a multinational company which you think is, I don't know, it could be better?
I would start with the compromises. My compromises, for example, is that I'm not doing the thing which I would love to do, which is my dream. I can work on it next to my job parallelly, which is really good. But that's a compromise for me at the moment. And I'm quite a new joiner to this team I'm working with, and it never happened that they gave me those things which nobody wants to do. Maybe because we do specific things and it's not about like, I don't know, printing things. I don't even know if someone prints in 2025, but never mind. So actually we have a quite good training period. It's usually the probation period when you are get trained for the tasks you have to do, and you can try yourself in every task you will need to do in the future with a lot of support from more experienced colleagues. So that's how you can learn, how and that's what you will do. That's why they hired you. So it won't make any sense to do other things.
That's very promising.
It's not really how to say beneficial for the company or for the team that there is someone who knows how to, I don't know, print the emails or do the data analysis or whatever, or administrational stuff, if it's not the thing they need to do after the probation period ends. So yeah, and I forgot the third question, but
No,
it's okay.
I really agree with what you said. It's about repurposing all these tasks. You can say that, oh, I have to do this Excel sheet task, or you can say that I get to do this. I get to do this without any source of responsibility, and I have the chance to learn by doing it. While I was doing a lot of Excel tables, indirectly I learned a lot about the company without having responsibility on my head. I got the chance to actually do a trial, see a lot of things. But it's really important what you said, that you have to say that this is only for a certain period of time in my job. Then I want to take on more responsibilities and more tasks that doesn't end there. But I think it's a good learning ground to do the mundane tasks. But if you only see them as a mundane task, then you won't enjoy the thing you have.
I also agree with this approach that you can learn something from every task. And I think some kind of administration is part of every job, so it's something that you must do. And there are some people who don't really mind administrative tasks because, as you mentioned, you can learn from the facts and the numbers. I also do it sometimes, but it's not the. I would say that probably 15% of my daily tasks, well, in some ways they involve administrative tasks, but I think that's okay. For me, that's okay.
Yeah, and I also think that if there is a new joiner and the company or the team gives them these tasks, it's important to highlight why. Like, you are getting this task because that's the base of our everyday routine or everyday, I don't know, work. And everyone went through on this. And if you have any ideas how we can improve them, you can share stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's really important because it gives you something more than just, okay, you have to do the administration things and by end of the day, and that's it.
I like the way how you speak about giving meaning to the mundane tasks.
Yeah.
That matters a lot, like in terms of how you do that, like what's your attitude. If you see the meaning, then that's okay, I guess. And if it doesn't like overstep a proportion of the full work.
Yeah.
That's
I'm not
nice.
saying that every task has a deep meaning, but
No.
you know,
But any find some
but
meaning. that
yeah,
matters.
yeah, of course.
You find your role in the bigger picture. This is the big project that we are working on, and I got to contribute, even if it was just like formatting the slides that they show to the client, or I don't know. I got to do that. I was a part of this.
Seeing the why, seeing the purpose. So they
Yes.
tell you the why, and then you can ask,
Yeah.
but why
Yeah.
me? Give it to the
But-
other one.
I don't know, maybe it sounds silly, but when I was a trainee, I was in a project management field, and I had to do a lot of, PowerPoint presentations and stuff like that. And I was like, can I change a bit, the design and something? Like we had the company colors and brand stuff. But I was like, can I change a bit? Because I found them a bit boring or not, very modern styled. And they told me, yeah, of course you can do whatever you want until you are using the branding colors and everything. And I made like quite beautiful presentations, and they were really happy, and it actually added to meetings and everything we did. And after they gave me process flows to redesign, so it wasn't, after a point, it wasn't just like making presentations and just give you something just because you're a trainee, but it mattered actually. And there were some times when the process flows I redesigned made more sense and were more understandable and stuff like that. So yeah, it really can happen that a basic task can be something
Yeah,
really
if-
valued.
If the job
Yeah.
is boring, make it exciting for yourself.
Yeah,
And maybe they will
exactly.
promote you. That's
There is
that's one way.
another trend I see up and coming, and I don't know if we are naming company names, not ours, but let's just say that, for example, a big German grocery company,
There are quite a few. Sorry.
Yeah.
yes,
That's
or
okay.
or my company as well, are employing the same technique, which is, for example, if they know that you have potential, they put you on the field, let's just say. On the grocery company, they let you go into the store for a year. In my company, I do the same. I go in the field for a year only to get a sense of empathy of what is there where the customers are actually are. If you are working for this grocery company and if you immediately go to the office, you don't have a sense. You just have this ivory tower sense that we are speaking from up to down, but you are actually not seeing what's happening on the field. So I've heard this from several companies that are doing this, and actually I think it's really useful for your empathy. So this can be one technique that can make the mundane task better, to say that once I am in the position of actually making decisions, I will have the memory of what it was like to actually be there, stand there, sit there, be with the customers.
If you found this discussion helpful, make sure to subscribe not to miss any future episodes.